Everybody, this is Daniel with Daniel's Bullion Coins out here on the farm. We have an emergency video that we're doing. It's probably going to be one of the most important videos I've ever done because everything is culminating, everything's coming together. Is this the collapse? I don't think so, because I've had to eat my hat so many times over the last 10 or 15 years. I'm not saying that it's the collapse, but it doesn't look good at all. Got my sweet wife Ingrid here. She's holding the phone, and we don't have our microphones or anything. We're just going to shoot a quick video and see how it goes.
Yeah, well, I was at the shop today, and I got this call from you that said our wholesaler is not taking any more silver unless it's a delay to pay.
Yes.
What on earth?
So that's the big news going around with all of the dealers, all of the melters. Everybody's talking about the wholesalers are not taking any more silver. They'll take it, but they're not paying out for 2 weeks to 3 weeks, some of them 30 days. They don't want the 925. There's been letters that have been sent out, emails that have been sent out, and it's no scrap metal, no 925, no 40%, and they listed, unfortunately, they also listed the 90%, which is a misconception. And I've seen other videos on YouTube grabbing a hold of that 90% and latching onto it and really disparaging the 90%, when really the problem is rounds and bars. But the internet people and these sellers, these bullion sellers that push the 90%, the three nines, the rounds and the bars, you got to watch out. You got to do your homework. We're not financial advisors. They're not financial advisors. They're just giving their opinion. And right now, I'm telling you, they're misleading people, because whether they typed in 90% or not as one of the things that they're not taking, it's just that the warehouses are full. So let's explain it like this. Inventory is coming in because the price has gone really high, and a lot of people are selling. Cashing in, right. And they've been stackers for years. They've been in it for 10 or 15 years. They started when they were 60 or 65. Now they're 75, 80 years old. Their kids don't want it. They just want to get out, or they want to take a little bit of profit. That's what we've been hearing.
Right.
You know, so they're coming in with a monster box or a stack of gold coins, and they're just taking a little bit of profits off the table while it's available. Well, that's created this huge backlog at the refiners. So picture it like this. You've got the refiner building in the middle. You've got a warehouse over here where the material's coming in, and it's stacked up to the ceilings. They can't get another truckload of it in there. And then on the other side, you've got the 400-ounce silver bars coming out, and that warehouse is empty. And the LBMA is calling, saying, we want our actual silver. We don't want contracts. We don't want paper. We want delivery of our silver. The COMEX is filling contracts. Massive contracts are being filled right now. So the warehouse that the 400-ounce bars are in is empty. And like I've been saying all along for years and years and years, don't buy the bars because you can't negotiate them. You've got to be reliant on the refiner or the wholesaler to take them back, or the coin dealer. But if you've got the 90%, the dimes, quarters, and halves, just like I was talking about last week, having that skill or that talent to go out and find the farmer, and you can trade those dimes, quarters, and halves for food. That was the first thing that I did when I started looking at gold and silver. I said, okay, let's go out to the farmer's market. I took bars, I took rounds, I took 90%, and I went out and I negotiated for food. And I found out really quick that nobody takes the bars. So then you're beholding to the coin dealer and the loss and the labor for him to have to turn that around and resell it. And you can do that. It's like hiring somebody to mow your grass, and it's going to cost you money. Or you can go buy yourself a lawnmower and mow your own grass. Well, if you're dependent on the coin dealer, you've got to pay him. But if you've got 90%, you've got currency. And we've talked before how valuable currency is. We've talked about the 1943 penny. Another example is the 8 real. Back when the U.S. was just getting started, they took the Mexican the Spanish 8 real, the Mexican 8 real, and they cut it into 8 pieces, and it was called the pieces of 8.
Yes.
And that gave them quarters and halves. And that's where we got the 2 bits from. 2 pieces, which was a quarter, was a shave and a haircut. So they needed commerce. They need currency. And so when the U.S. was young, They created it, by doing the pieces of 8 and 2 bits. So the value for currency is very important. So you need the dimes, quarters, and halves. And right now there are videos on YouTube saying, get rid of your 90%, nobody wants it, and all this kind of stuff. Well, they're wrong, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. Y'all do your own research on it.
So the price of silver, where do you think it's going?
Well, the price of silver is going to triple digits. It's going to triple
I
digits.
even heard someone say 400.
Yes, 400 is really highly likely. Now, we have seen in the years that I've been doing this, we've seen these catastrophes. We've seen these situations. I even remember when we had the silver squeeze a few years ago, and there was a premium on bars. You couldn't find bars and rounds because all of the kids that were coming in buying silver, they were told, whatever you do, don't buy a coin, buy a bar. And so the premium on bars went way up, and the bars had value. Well, now it's the other way around. The bar value is falling faster and faster.
Yeah.
Another problem, we've talked about how the refiners are booked up and stacked up as high as they can. Now we have a money problem. It's costing more and more money, and this is going to be really detrimental to the dollar. It's going to put a chink in the armor of the dollar. The dollar's already in enough trouble, but here's another chink. Nobody wants to have their coins, their assets in dollars right now. So whether you're the coin dealer or the wholesaler or the refiner, you're having to pay for those dollars that are just sitting in the warehouse and dollars that are in transit. And that's costing money. It's very expensive, overnight money. And you can figure 20 to 30, maybe even higher percentage that's going to be tacked on to trying to get rid of your bars and your scrap metal. That's how come we've been saying get rid of your scrap metal. That's how come we've been saying get into 90%. So you've got commerce and that you can trade without having to go back to the dealer. And that's how come we've been pushing have a skill so that you're not totally reliant on the coins. You're not going to get rich off of coins. You're not going to be saved by the coins, and that brings in spiritual value. You've got to have your spiritual foundation also. And we've talked about skills a million times. I'm going to throw out another example. We elderly, we talked about being able to learn how to trade. Well, if you're a young family, you've got little kids, get pet rabbits. And the New Zealand whites, you can get those with papers. Get 2 different families, a male and a female, and let the kids enjoy the rabbits. And if things got really, really bad, the rabbit is the number 1 producing meat over cow, over everything, the fastest over producing chickens, everything. And it's easy and quiet to do, and you can go from pet status to survival. Just another skill that you could do, a suggestion. Wow, I'm throwing out a lot of information really fast. I've been working on the farm like crazy.
But we thought we had to say something.
It's just so important. Crazy. That people you're watching our video, you're watching other videos on YouTube, and there's some misleading information out there. And you need to study it yourself. Go out to the farmer's market, take your dimes, quarters, and halves. Learn the skill of trading. Find out the importance of dimes, quarters, and halves. Remember, it's currency, and its currency is what is in trouble. The dollar is currency. It's in trouble. It's collapsing. What's going to replace it? Dimes, quarters, and halves.
Silver
and skills are going to replace the dollar that's collapsing. It's not about getting rich quick. People are coming in and they're selling their silver right now, and they thought they were going to get $54 or $55, whatever the spot price is right now for their silver.
The spread is so far.
The spread is incredibly far, and it's about to take another big jump. Because when you start factoring in the cost of currency, the cost of the money, for me to have money on hand to be able to pay people, and now I'm turning that silver in, and they're telling me 30 days until I get paid. So that means my money, my capital to run my business is now tied up for 30 days. So I need to factor that into the cost when I go to buy the next person's silver or gold or whatever. So there's lots of scenarios. I've seen all different types, like I said, about the silver squeeze and the bars being, so be diversified. Be into gold, be into numismatic gold, be into your dimes and quarters. Have a couple of bars, that's okay. Have a little bit of everything, because the scenarios and what ifs, they change constantly. And nobody knows what's going to actually happen. So be diversified. Have your skills so that you can fall back on that. Don't look at gold and silver as a get rich quick thing or it's going to save me scenario.
No, that's
Be
it.
spiritually minded. Be educated.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. Look forward to seeing y'all again soon.
Blessings.
Bless y'all. Bye.
Bye.